Miss World Malaysia 2008 goes to...
A contestant who never gives up, she tells me. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for contestant number 16, Soo.
That's right. I'm a person who never gives up. When I was young, I was an obese child. I had learning difficulties and often being bullied in school. They even call me the Godzilla. It was when I fell in love with singing. I found a purpose and a vision in life. I wanted to apply to my dream school, Berkeley, for my first undergrad study, but I was being sent to the UK to do my law degree instead. After graduation, it was Miss World Malaysia which launched my whole entertainment career. Since then, I never stopped. I challenged myself to do everything just for my music dream. However, behind all the limelight, I felt something was missing. So after my PhD graduation, I remembered my dream school, Berkeley. So I went online and did some research. I saw a course called MPTI. It was what I've been waiting for all this year. Without any second thought, I quickly applied and waited for the result. One night, I gotten the confirmation from Berkeley. I was beaming in joy. But on the other side, my friends' family back home went against my idea. I was in a really difficult situation. But I've decided to give my dream a go. I left everything back in Malaysia and flew to Valencia. Here I am, Valencia, Berkeley. I met so many talented people from various countries. Since day one, I've been sharing about my Inwinccible project. I wanted to reinvent myself with everything I've collected back home. I know that with this, I need to learn new technology and software skill. So I enrolled myself with all available classes. I took Applied Media Lab from peers, learning how to operate on Arduino, MaxPatch, and also we did a lot of experiment in the Media Lab. I also took sound design classes from band. I used to write all my songs on the piano, but now I learned how to transform my music idea on Ableton. I also took studio engineering and also basic mixing from Danny. Well, from this class, I need to go back to basic, come down and serve the artist. It was such a different perspective for me. I also get to learn how to operate on the studio console and also most importantly, how to operate on Pro Tools. Also, I took live VJing from Zabler. I learned how to create my own visuals, VJ on stage, and also light installation on Resolume. On the other hand, I took advanced music video classes from John. He taught me a lot on After Effects and also Adobe Premiere. On the last semester, I wanted to find out more about DJing, so I took up DJing classes from Nachos. Not to forget, I've gotten a lot of advices from our program director, Papa Mungia. He really pushed me to work harder. I was actually quite lost and I was really stuck at some time. But I told myself, I just need to work extra harder compared to other students. They always call me the girl who stays in Berkeley because I spend most of my time here. Apart from that, I think my classmates really helped me a lot. They shared whatever they knew, and we were all here to help each other to grow our music dream. After collecting all the skills, I started experimenting day and night with my Inwinccible project. Apart from music production, I've also reinvented my own art with technology. I also added some circus skills into my project, and with limited cost, I began to sew my costume by myself. Slowly, I patched my project one by one together, going defense by defense, getting constructive criticism from the teachers and my peers. I've also slowly brought in more members into my project. I kept on polishing my music production skill, my sound design skills. I gotten a lot of help from my mates and my teachers around. Then I started my 360 music video production. I spent day and night in the studio, editing frame by frame, and encountered so many mistakes and errors. Finally, after 9 months, I managed to create my Inwinccible 360 music video. This is a new dimension for my own art.
Hi everyone, so I am Soo Wincci. I am an actress, I am a scholar, I am a producer, I am a beauty queen. I'm more active in the entertainment line, yeah.
Yeah, as what Dr. Soo said, she's an all-rounder. Basically, she's everything. She's a singer, a model, a producer, a motivational speaker, a celebrity chef, actress, author, everything. And she even holds, 5 academic degrees now. So now is even aiming for the 6th PhD, right?
Yes.
Oh my God, I'm really impressed about all the things you have been experienced, and I believe our audience will be here willing to listen what you're going to tell, and we will learn a lot.
Thank
from
you.
it.
I think everyone think that I'm crazy because, whenever I talk about education, I'm always being scolded online or the news will go viral. But it's just that, it's for me, it's like because I am a person where I'm not born smart. So for me, I always don't want to take the shortcut. So I always challenge myself. I always say the cheapest way is to go back to education, and because I am the person where, I gain so much is because all my teachers, a lot of people help me behind. So especially students, like, I love to help students. That's why I think everyone will think that, I'm showing off, but actually it's not really, actually I'm just sharing where I'm not smart. That's why I need to go study. And nowadays as well, studying is no more. I think we have to change the perception of a lot of parents and stuff. Nowadays there's no more memorizing, and it's more of your interactive stuff. And sometimes when you are going into your postgrad studies, it's more of the industrial research already. So I am working as well. I'm not just studying, so I don't need to be in school like 24/7. I need to work, I need to earn money myself, I need to pay all my student debt. So I am still like every one of you all, like everyone said that, oh wow, like why is she studying? I was like, also like I think it's getting more and more competitive, and also actually music is always my root, but as an Asian parents, they won't encourage us to go into fully arts. So only a second, master and PhD I dare to take in arts. But also I'm very careful because the industry is very bad now. So, but at the end of the day, for me, it's like I just want to encourage everyone to pursue what they want. You don't need to be as crazy as me. I have always, for me, I always like to do something extreme and stuff because I want to, for me, I want to break more records for Malaysia. And also, I think nowadays when I go out, I don't want to waste so much money. And also, I want to generate back more knowledge back. And also, I think nowadays, if you can see the news nowadays, certificate is very important if you want to stay in overseas, or if you want to prolong your stay in there or set up your business there. I think the most solid way is to go through as a student. The one way.
So when we are talking about studies, I think we should start off with studies also, because most of students we are facing with the issues in study. So I wanted to ask something where you really love study, like since young.
I hated. I can tell you, I was obese, I was last in the class, I was not smart. But it's always because I know the reality where we girls, if we don't work hard, people, traditional, especially Chinese family and stuff, you will be like, oh, you'll be chased to married, or, but when I was young, when I know that I'm not given that smartness, so I need to work so hard. But then I noticed that when I work hard, everything is possible. And, sometimes during, I think my primary school wasn't good. My secondary school was picking up a bit, but I really pushed myself into the extreme, because then only, I was mixing with a lot of top students. Then only I understand they really spend so much time behind really polishing and studying. Then sometimes when nowadays in the working industry, I would tell a lot of people where, a lot of people regret they never work hard during their younger days. That's why they suffer a lot of losses. They suffer a lot of things. But, but for me, it's because a lot of reality hit. And I know that if I don't work hard, my dream won't come true, because my dream that 10, 20 years ago, if I want to go into the music line, everyone will be thinking ridiculous, and it's a bit impossible. So I know that I need to work harder than anyone else. So I think I am not smart, and I don't like study, but I like learning. So a lot of people have a misperception. Yes, when you're young, a lot of things, you need to memorize. But in postgraduate, or we are doing a degree and master, everyone now is on thesis. So you need industry experience. So it is a great guidance from school to use that to get into a lot of industry. So for me, I'm not really studying, I'm doing more research. So I don't like memorizing, so I always do research. And also, when you go from 4, from 5, everything is subjective, That's why a lot of people think that we are memorizing is by the book. It's not by the book anymore. The syllabus have changed. I think a lot of people haven't touched into education. A lot of education system are changing every year. So we have a criteria for that, so that it's not just a bookworm. So you get best of both worlds. We also encourage students to go and, conduct something in the real world, so that you start early at your age. I started singing or modeling at the age of 16. That's why, 16. That's why I was like, I've been since 16. I've been like that already. So I cannot stop working as well, but I cannot stop studying. So I took part time. I did a lot of things, but when I was doing my degree, I had no choice to go full time. Then I came back and continue part time on my PhD. So I think. For me, it's just the learning curve, and so that, sometimes something to push you to learn. And also, if you go through the education, at least it's not a wrong way. Anything, it will still go back to, your scholar or the next generation. That's why you guys know me. A lot of people know me. I think, I mean, the parents will think that I'm crazy, but I think the student will understand. I understand you all now, wow, so tough. 10 years ago, I don't understand, is that tough? Like your generation now is like, oh my God, 10 times harder than my generation. So, so I understand. That's why whenever I come back and study and stuff, it's not for myself already. I want to understand, my audience. I want to understand the future thing where even experiences people won't understand, because it's a new norm. Because nobody had this experience in this. Of course, past experience, it will help. But now it's a new world. It's everything changed. 10 years ago, I see all the syllabus changing until today. I was like, I'm still learning. So for me, I think that I'm still not enough. It's not for me, to say that I'm good or whatever. So no, I think I'm the one who always hunger for knowledge, because I'm not given. So I always need to seek myself. And whenever I'm not doing my research, or I always need a hub, to guide me. So I think research and all those things is a very good thing for me, to string everything into one stone. Yeah.
So as we can see, Dr. Soo is so working so hard to study all the things, learning stuff in new era. Don't you ever feel like I'm lazy today or I'm tired today? Can I stop?
Yes, I do. Honestly, not to say I want to stop. My body need to stop. I was, I was, in Spain for 2 years because I was on a scholarship. So I need to fulfill the GPA. So I never rest for almost 8 months. Actually, 2 years non-stop. 8 months. Then my body collapsed when I came back in March. Doctor told me not to work for 1 month because I was too sick. I don't have coronavirus that time. It was just, I gotten shingles. I gotten like something like chickenpox, but it's a residue of chickenpox. So the doctor was saying you overwork. But for me, I think sometimes, yes, nowadays I know how to relax, but I cannot also, whenever I relax already, at night I will jump out and do things online. Because for me, I think because it's what I love now. So, and I'm tidying a lot of my company stuff, a lot of my income tax stuff. So a lot of things for me to tidy because I left the country for almost 2 years. So now I'm tidying back and stuff. So sometimes it's like, not to say you want to rest or not. Things are coming in, but it's my duty to keep doing because also like shows are coming in. I need to go out because it's been 2 years. I've been quiet for 2 years, but now rebranding and doing a lot of things, and now I'm doing a lot of production stuff. So, I think the kind of responsibility is bigger. And also, I think the younger people are looking at me now, especially nowadays, it's the generation gap. Like, sometimes I was like, I want to fight for the young generation where, parents might not understand, sometimes like, why you never come back so, and then, sometimes I think you all are facing the same thing as well. The syllabus is hard, and I think teacher as well, the curriculum has changed. You guys must have activities. You guys must do something beyond just schoolwork. So I totally understand, and also I told them also, I don't want to leave a bad example, but also I want to have a midpoint for the younger generation, and also maybe I would use myself to tell the older generation, because I have a lot of fans say that how to tell my mom like that. They don't see so far, and nowadays I think in overseas it's quite it's quite scary. Everyone is a double master. Honestly, I never think of getting so many degrees or whatever. After my PhD, I thought was the end, but when I gotten the offer, when I went overseas and saw, I was like, oh man, this year there's 3 master student is coming in. I was like, but that will be the trend in the future where, because the cost is getting higher, so you all must be very hybrid. So, I think, nowadays it's like we need to go through the hybrid mode. So I think your generation will be even harder than us. So for me, I'm just signaling something is, overseas is starting like that already. I think one day it's going to hit our country. So don't be comfortable. A lot of my friends are coming down for their masters. A lot of my celebrity friends are coming down for their PhD. So because we saw it already, it doesn't mean that you have experience is good, but you still need to reinvent yourself. So I would say that definitely a balance of experience and a balance of education and new knowledge, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
So in your opinion, education is a must. So
I would say
today
that
your children like your future?
Well, I would say that nowadays I would push you harder. I would say yes. But I also do not be blinded by education. I would say education plus experience. You must have best of both worlds. Because whenever, like nowadays, when we've been through like the scholarship screening and stuff, we already know what criteria they are looking for. So both are equally important. So especially for young people, because nowadays, yes, I know that a lot of job employment say, oh, even you have degree, nobody's gonna hire you. But you haven't know that, a lot of people nowadays, the working mode is very different. In the future, you guys might set up your own thing. So if you set up your own things, of course, you must have the best. So you might have your own master, so that you understand how to set up your business. Even you don't have the experience, at least you have a pool of people there guiding you. Then, you only pay consultancy, because some of us might not have the budget. So I think learning is the most cheapest way. to gain it. And nowadays employment is very different already. So in the future, I think I would see a lot of freelancer, and also I think a lot of young entrepreneurs will be rising, because I think that local will be rising with their own entrepreneurship. Then I think that's the best way, I think. And you guys are your own boss. Yeah.
When we are talking about studies and education, I believe most of us face a problem, which is the productiveness. Like we always feel that we are doing things, it might look a lot, but then when it comes to the result, at the end, we didn't learn anything actually. We might only getting a small amount of knowledge, but we feel like our time just spent away like so fast. How can we keep up the productiveness in our daily life?
I would think that this would take you some years, because when you're young, please push all the way out. You see how much can you bear. Like during my Form 4, Form 5, I think all the top students, now only we review back, when in school we say, now we don't study. But I can tell you, we lock ourselves 20 hours per day, and I never leave my books and my books and stuff. So top students and stuff, we push ourselves the limit, but we will know how to work. When you push already, then you know that second and third time, your things, you don't need to do back so harsh. So you know how to. Yeah. So I think the productivity is lagging, right? Is it better now?
Yeah, it's like, I'm so sorry.
No worries. Yeah. So I think the best way of productivity, you go through the unproductivity time first. Then I think the best way is definitely you must know your golden hours of studying, because for each of us we have different habits. Like for mine, I need, like when I was young, I woke up 5 a.m., 5 to 7 to refresh my mind. Then I'll go back to school, and then when I come back, I'll rest for a while. Then at night I'll study again. So each of us have our different golden time. So you must know your golden time. Then sometimes when your mind is shut off, please shut down for one day, because sometimes you need to have that shutdown and then you push again. But again, when you have emergency push, especially exam, you have no choice. So I think sometimes the stress is good at some point, but at the end of the day, start early, I would say, and also know your limits, know what's your goal point and what's your freshness, because everyone is very different. And even I go very detailed until what beverage, what food, because I really ask a lot of top students. Some of them, when exam, they crave for bread, because you need the carbohydrate to burn, and it really stays us, very concentrated. For me, I need, I remember I need coffee. So sometimes some of them might not even need any food. So depending on, we go to the extreme where we take care of we know what beverage we need, we know what time to eat. But at the end of the day, I think you must force yourself to concentrate, because sometimes I will challenge my friend, like we challenge 5 hours, 7 hours. Sometimes I can go until 20 hours. Wow, when you're in the zone, because when you're in overseas, you get what I mean. Because here, everyone is still okay, but you're in overseas, you're paying for the school fee, you are competing with foreigners. We are way behind because we are not a local. So we focus like very precise. When I saw overseas people as well, I know that, sometimes they say that, oh wow, why are they, like that. But again, sometimes you must also let yourself to let go to think. So that's why I say that you push yourself, but not every month like that. I always say that maybe the last month for your exam, or the last 2 months. But then every day nowadays you just do a bit, then you push. Don't push every day. There's no use for you to push the whole year. You're going to be exhausted unless you're trained. In the industrial part, yes, we are pushed. I was pushed 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 8 months non-stop. But then you take off, because ours is not measured by hours anymore. For us industry, when you're aiming for award, when you're aiming for a scholarship, there's no limit. But again, know how to balance your stress, because I know that everyone is stressed, but we know as well we must go through the tunnel of it's like that. Chinese say that 先苦后甜. There's no such thing as relax or whatever. Bullshit. No way, no way. I'm not, even you're gifted or whatever, syllabus is getting harder. So there's no reputation and stuff. So, well, if you put the efforts inside and you keep doing, the things will keep coming. So again, treat it as a habit, as a lifestyle, then you don't need, when last minute call, so you're always there. But again, give yourself, some freedom. You know that SPM is coming. So sometimes, you must know which one is the most important exam. So always ask in advance. So sometimes it's an accumulation, then you do accumulation. But some syllabus is year-end result. So just focus on that. So you can take your time. So depend on what syllabus you're going. So now everyone is the same, but I believe when you choose your pre-U courses, every syllabus for every country is very different. So choose wisely, and it's a very different route for everyone in the future. But just know that ask in advance, which is counted, which is not counted. So you have time, you have time to play with it. Because for me, honestly, I fail all my trial. Because because honestly, I need to be frank. I need to have activities, during my examination. But final, I will promise that I will score back like A1. So if this time I lose myself, so that moment I will congest everything together. So that's why I was like, everyone have their own speed. But also I saw people as like they're consistent. I mean, that would be awesome. But if touch wood, a lot of last minute changes and stuff. So train yourself you can be consistent, but you also can do last minute work. I think that will be very flexible so that, you're not afraid. Because I see people who are very consistent, but what if they're faced with last minute changes? They are not flexible to change. Of course, we are very messy if we are just concentrating on one. So I would say, train yourself to have the best of both skills, because I've been through Australian syllabus, UK syllabus, US syllabus, now Spanish syllabus. I was like, ask whatever you all want. I was like, I understand already. It's just a different subject, but the syllabus and the marks are all measured differently. So it's still the same thing, but it's because of different country, different system. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I totally agree with this, because I'm also a last minute person. So I would say I'm more last minute person than consistent person. So my room sometimes it will be really mess when I go inside a study mode. The books will be thrown here and there just to make sure that my result at the end will be better. So I totally understand it. So I wanted to ask, Dr. Soo is having a very extreme way of studying, because you stay up until late night. So how do you keep yourself healthy? Or I would say, you see your skin are all glowing, so youthful. How do you keep yourself pretty and beauty even?
That's a trick. No drinking water 4 hours before sleeping, and no food before sleeping. So that's always my trick. You don't get eye bags. So it's like, no matter how long you study, you won't get eye bags. So they don't understand. I was like, that's always my trick. I don't know. I saw what articles and I try it. So I every time, whenever I sleep late, 4 hours before, no water, no food, there won't be eye bags. There won't be any breakouts. Yeah, there won't be. It's a little secret, but it works. You don't even need eye cream or whatever. Yeah. I didn't know until like, oh, it does work. That's why I did not understand. I was like, sometimes I don't sleep.
Even plain water.
No, you can't.
Not allowed.
Cannot. Yeah. So that's a little trick where it worked. Every of my friends was like, you don't sleep. I was like, yes, but I was like, you don't put eye cream. Yeah. I was like, no water, no food, anything before 4 hours before you sleep. Your skin will be nice. Even you don't sleep. When you wake up, please drink. But 4 hours before, no, don't. After dinner, just go straight to study, and then after that, just go straight to sleep. And sometimes as well, when before you sleep, you just revise a bit. I can tell you, it will automatically go into your brain straight away the second day. So the first day you would think that, well, it's very hard. But the thing is, if you study, like revise before you sleep, the thing will go. I don't know why. It's a lot of people do this way as well. So every time revise a bit before sleep, and don't be kanchong and stuff. The next day you remember everything. Don't worry. I always say that don't memorize. Read it through. That's why I always say that have more time going through it. Yeah.
Okay. So I was shocked actually to like get these tips. I hope our audience will use these tips as well before studies and stuff to be as beauty as our beauty queen.
Thinking already. So I think this is a very little secret. Or if really you get eye bags or whatever, right? What do you call that? The timun, like the timun, just cut and then just put. That's the best way. Or tea bag, it does work. Or ice, even ice. I saw my friends as well. But always, I think it's the habit. That's why I always say that it's always the habit which transform it out. So if you can have this habit, trust me, you won't have eye bags or anything. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for the tips.
Anytime.
So when it comes to studies issue, I think Dr. Soo have also some of the problems with your parents when it comes to persuading them, for them to understand what are you doing. So I think nowadays teens, they might face the same issues too. What is the exact way to let our parents believe on what we are doing is correct?
Until today, this issue have not been solved until today, because I think it's good to let them know, but sometimes we don't want to let them know is because we haven't do it out yet. So sometimes it's like, I understand, if you want to tell them, like I'll say that it's not to say we don't inform them, not to say we want to block them, but if we tell them, then they say that why you never do it out, but it changed throughout the whole history, or the result is not as you mentioned, the result is not as what we thought. So because now it's very subjective, right? Because it depends on the syllabus and so I'm thinking that, have a mid ground, you don't need to say everything because you still have to protect yourself. Because if you say everything also, I understand parents say, hey, you tell me like that, but why come out like that? They are very precise, but nowadays everything is changing. So I think it's good to let them know the rough idea, but don't let them to know imprecise and manage the promise. Don't tell them, don't say that, oh, this is going to be good or whatever. You say, I think it's going to be work, but then you go all out full force. But of course, it's good to touch base, but I think sometimes it's good to, to build the trust as well, But sometimes you also, I think, just tell them, I think just the process is good. Don't tell them the result first, because I think sometimes if you tell them the result, I think you are stressed as well. So also, I think nowadays our duty also, I think the family is learning with us, but it takes time. Every family is very different, and sometimes from our background and stuff, they will think that it's not important. But I always say that you do whatever is important for you. So it doesn't no right or wrong. If you think that you need working experience, you can go first. You don't need to follow exactly what we're doing. But I always say that nowadays, at least until degree, because in the future, you would thank all of us, because nowadays as well, we are seeing so many people with so many degrees. If you can't communicate like that, you can't serve anyone. So you will always be working under. So a lot of company as well, I think they're trying to limit their staff and stuff. So in the future as well, if there's no employment, so everyone, if you are your own boss or you are own entrepreneur, or you guys same age will be starting more of your own social, I believe. So because nowadays it's good to have a senior to guide you all. But I always say that I'm an independent senior. I don't want to sit in the board where even my company as well, we are all same batch. So of course we have like people, consultant who see us as but sometimes it's it's good to have the same batch, but also using your same batch collaborate with more senior type and stuff. So I think in the future as well, whenever now you're facing problem with generation gap, I think slowly try and educate them in some ways, because when we are young we don't know anything, so our mom and dad also try to educate us. So sometimes also don't fight back. I was like, we just do our part, our hard work will show, and we just keep quiet. Sometimes it's like we try to explain, but sometimes background, and I totally understand Asian thinking. So but as long as let them know that you're not wasting money, you're budgeting, and you are just going through all these things, your syllabus and stuff, so I think it should be okay. And sometimes core curriculum, just tell them in advance so that they're not worried, because nowadays the safety is very, very bad. But again, I would say also sometimes I know that youngsters nowadays want to try to be independent. So I know that sometimes it's time for you to be independent of a Chinese word 我们自己扛. Yeah, so depending step by step, but sometimes Asian family would think another way, but Western family would think that okay, yeah, go and do your things, but but I always say that strike a balance. There's no right or wrong. as long as roughly they know what you're doing and you know to take care of yourself, or even you did wrong, just apologize and always solve it instantly. Don't keep it, so that there's no misunderstanding. So sometimes I think it's good to tell them that it's different already. But also we don't fight back. We just talk like a normal neutral. Like, I always say that we are there to learn together. So then, everyone have their own opinion. But at the end, if you think you want to, that's what you want, your route and stuff, yeah, go ahead. This is your freedom, because honestly, one day, you can't say everyone will be right. But I would hope that you will, withhold what you want. And don't be regrets, because if you follow people will blame you or following them. So if you're wrong, I think wrong with your own decision is better than wrong with others' decision. And again, education won't be wasted. Yeah, nowadays won't be wasted. Don't just listen to whatever. If you need it, go for it. If you need more working experience, also go out. Take your time. I took my time. I'm 35 this year. I took my time between. So that's why I never rushed. My PhD was 6 years. I keep failing. I keep resitting because I was so busy in my work. I also told that it's okay. I resit is okay. I'm working now. So then now I'm into full time. But it will get the hang of it. For me, is I just want to do it until I get the hang of it. So that's why I say that don't rush and have the best. Even don't rush with. I would say a youngster, don't get married so early. Go and see the world, please. Please go and see the world, or sometimes you let the person lose. If the person come back, it's like plant your roots nicer, and don't rush for the sake of rushing. But again, everyone have different calling, so depending on what you want, some of them they might want to settle down early, but depending what you want, because nowadays nothing is permanent, I would say. And I wish to see more younger girls be independent, so that, not to say fight, so that we can self-survive, or we can help back even in some ways. Because I see girls are standing up more, so we need more numbers. So nowadays, sometimes when I go on show, I'm still the only girl. I was like, I'm not the smartest. I just never give up. I fail so many times, I would tell you. So, and I never rush. I don't want to rush. So again, every step I go, I make my mistake. So I told myself there won't be 2 times. Every mistake, just 1 time, second time, I don't want to repeat. I will alter myself. I will fuck it up myself. So that's why I say that why my thing, I was like, it's not for popularity or whatever. I want to learn, if I'm coming in just for popularity, money and stuff, I don't think, I think everyone will be like trapped. So sometimes also I say, let's do it nicely. If you do it nicely, more things will come behind. If in front you do it not nice, I am going to go down there, and I really redo a lot of times already. I was like, I've been through so many exams. I've been through like my company as well. So I was like, no more. No more. I really want to, hands-on on a lot of things. And when I'm okay already, only I can teach people. So I think youngster nowadays, you guys are so smart, and everything's open up. I would really see that, each of us, even our senior, because of, a lot of senior as well towards a lot of advices. That's why we're still surviving. And also, it's a generation of hard work, Also, we are trying, we can't just say that our generation is right. So it's a balance, okay? Always a balance. So left and right. So when your time is there, you need to bridge the gap between 2 generations or 3 generations. But again, if you're not strong enough, please go and be strong. Only you come back and help. So don't think that nowadays, because nowadays I think it's a very cunning world. It's very different. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yep, now I can hear you.
Oh, sorry, just now it's lagging a little bit. I can't hear the last sentence. I'm so sorry.
No worries. I just say that nowadays, like, if you're weak, then go and be stronger, then only come back and help people, because it's a very cunning world. So I would say that don't do stupid mistake, and when you take risk, take calculated risk. and always ask yourself why you want to do like that, so that you always keep yourself in, always in touch and stuff. So even you fail or whatever, of course sometimes it's good to fail, but when you're young, but then don't do that when you're getting older. Yeah.
So just now, as we heard what Wincci say, she already shared a lot of experience to us on how nowadays world that we need to study more in order to fight for our own. No matter, of course, women's and men's, like all of us, we must work harder. Because Malaysia, I think we need to work harder to let others know us. Because now we are still a very small country.
Yes, and don't be comfortable. When you go out there, I think everyone will understand. So sometimes it's well, not to say, if you have a chance to go out there, please go out. But, if you don't have as well, local, there's a lot of problem for us as well. And also, try to be independent. But I think a lot of us, wanted to have the experience to go out and see and experience how to become like a foreigner. So here is, we are the king, we are the king and queen of our country or our house. But when you're out there, it's not as what you all think. It's not as perfect, I would say. But it's a good challenge, nowadays. If you have the opportunity, please go. If not, also, in local as well, challenge yourself in doing other things.
After we have discussed so much about studies, there is one thing that I personally wanted to know is about, the title of you, the Miss World 2008. I'm actually quite curious about how is the feel of being a Miss World? What is the preparation that you guys need to do before entering this competition?
I think, again, if you know that my study formula is so extreme already, it took me 6 years of non-stop failing until I was joining over 18 to 20 pageant. Until then, I need to go overseas and come back, and the training was almost from since 16 years old. So at the age of 23, when I came back and won the title, I was like relieved already, because I was very tired. I'm not, as mentioned, my steps and all my things I plan, and always my route, I'm not given like lucky or whatever. So the training, it's years of training and years of experience and years of classes. So I was prepping my talent, my education, even, it's just the right timing. Until the end, I almost wanted to give up, and I have my last try. Then, I think that my journey is always, until the end, only I will get it. So it's more of the journey. Of course, it's a very tiring one. And I prep more than anyone else until everyone say, "Oh, you finally won." And I didn't know that I won like a national pageant. So that was what every girl's dream of, So when we are in the international platform, we are more ready. So when we went there, everyone, we were trained in overseas and stuff. So when we went international production, everything was very, very, we were very prepped already, and we lost so many times. And we see a lot of winners nowadays. A lot of them they've been through a lot already, and the criteria is getting tougher and tougher. So as well as that time, I was telling myself I wanted to push the level of education for the beauty queen. That's why I said that, okay, I want to challenge myself to go further. So until today, I think that always my signature, like the beauty queen and the studies. So it used to be everyone's like impossible, because if the beauty queen study is not like that. So, well, I try my best to rebrand the beauty queen perception. And also, I always say that I don't dare to be diva, because I was like, I love to serve, and my main strategy to join the pageant as well, I just want to go into the entertainment world. So for me, I was just very pure, and after that as well, I never stopped, and also I keep going, and I wanted to fight harder for my own industry.
So what we can see is this is the real beauty queen, which have wisdom and beauty at the same time. So actually, you do quite much for your entertainment industry. So why will you like opt this line? And why do you love entertainment so much?
Actually, I love singing since young. So, but I'm not good in singing. So I need to go vocal school again. I think if my classmates or my schoolmate know me, everyone would say that, oh, this girl, what competition also should join. Actually, I started with, like, as mentioned, I'm like that. I'm the one who said, hey, what competition I'll join? Because for me, because I have, I was having stage fright. So I was having a lot of confidence issue because I was from Chinese school, so I don't speak English. So I used to be very self-conscious and my Malay wasn't good. So I pushed myself to go competition so I can learn the language. So I keep pushing. And then I was like, hey, I love singing so much, So then I went for vocal training and stuff. Then I said, hey, I know I love singing, but I didn't know that, after that, when I went to the entertainment line, it's actually an occupation, it's actually a business. So you cannot just know singing. You must know how to do business. You must know how to do accounts. You must know how to invest yourself, your branding. So it all have its own syllabus. And when I do my second master in production, I was like, oh, so detailed. So for me as well, because compared to any industrial, I think art as well, we can go beyond limits. Is because nowadays a lot of us are digital wise. So. And also ours, we don't need a shop, we are the shop. So our business is very, very weird. So people might not understand. And sometimes even you go into art school, it doesn't mean that you come out will be famous. So you still need to keep trying a lot of things. So industrial and all these things. So it guided me in, but at the same time, I find my own way because I think everyone thinks that I'm very weird. Nobody knows how to manage my brand. So I have no choice to always study and analyze my own things myself because I might be the first case in the industrial for them. So sometimes even the music industry was like, we don't understand, even when I went into my second master, they said, do what the hell you want and we judge from the quality of it. So it's good. I mean, like, it's good to be a creator. It's good to to explore. So maybe I'm always, I always like to go very far forward, But our genre is always like that. We lead the industry. We also entertainment. Also, we always lead the trend. So we are the trendsetter. So we need to be very, very hardworking. So I think because of like what I told you, like how I study, how I aim competition. This actually it's a survival skill for you in the entertainment line. So I think that's why when you trace back until a young age, that's when it kind of determines where you will succeed in the future. Because some of them are very good in doing paperwork, some of them are very good in doing both, or you must know what's your strength, or you can develop it. What if something is not good, but if you want to really go into that thing, so you need to train a few years for that thing. So no right or wrong, but it's always like my passion is there, and it's always where I would say that this is a weird line, but I love it, so I'm going to give more than 100% into this line.
Yeah, I can see so much. I would say similarities, but I'm not that. I'm not the whole LMP to say that I can see similarities in you, because they might think that I'm crazy.
Yeah, I'm even more thick-skinned. I was like, our line is like the thicker the skin, the better it is. So I was like, until today, I'm still begging people for jobs and stuff. I'm, the more thick, of course, not normal thick, but of course you have to do your homework. I was like, even you thick skin, you have to have your own CV, you have to own, the profile, portfolio. So our art industry is very different from people. Ours is more on a portfolio. So as mentioned, like ours, we can't judge from working experience because we don't have permanent position nowadays, especially for art industry. So it's more on project basis, and the portfolio would kind of work for our industry. Even this line, if you're full time, it's hard for you to grow as well because you're not pushing yourself. So art is very subjective, and nowadays as art and technology, it's science plus art. So I'm a science student, so actually I'm a pure science student, so I started art quite late. So it doesn't mean that your art stream you're going to art. No, I kind of shift. So I think you just push yourself the best, and then you see what comes back. Yeah.
Okay, totally understand. Because See, first of all, I'm also a science student. Second
Here you
thing,
go.
I am also the kind of thick-skinned person. Every time when teacher asks who wanted to participate this competition, I'll be the first person who say me.
Yes.
Although I might have zero experience in that certain field, I touch everything,
That's
and
good.
that's why I really admire you and adore you, because I can see so much things that I'm consisting in is what you're doing, and I can see what I'm doing is, I think it's good because I can see the results on you.
Thank you.
So I'm so happy about that.
Thank you.
Okay, so I believe like all these experiences you have mentioned, I think it brought up to one of your title, which is you're an author. So
Yeah.
being an author, have you ever met some experience where you are being lack of ideas or you are not satisfied with what you're writing?
I think of course, I think after my first book, I think I'm not good already. So it's always like that lah. Even when I write my own song, the first song after you write already, you need to do so many things. That's why that time I faster go and get my second master. Then for me, it's like as a writer or as a composer, you need a lot of life stories. So sometimes something you cannot just study in class, or you get that thing is just for me to go overseas and gain more experiences. So even classes in overseas is a lot of self-discipline. So it's not just by the book nowadays. So I will start definitely, and nowadays as well, I will collaborate with a lot of writers and learn from the good ones. I always say that when you started off, of course we will try and write ourselves. Like even my first time my song, then I went Taiwan. I meet with a lot of great writers. So sometimes I'll put myself as very objective. If my thing is not good, I can sing people's stuff, or I can collaborate to write with people, or I will let the writer write my stuff, because we always can write back our own things. So, but I always say that when you're not good, go to a senior who are willing to, you admire and study what are they doing, because they definitely have a life experience to tell you, and you don't need to copy 100%. You just do whatever you want and integrate yourself. So I always think it's good, to have a good mentor, older than you, who have no conflict of interest in your line or your time, because like that is more independent. Because sometimes when you are fighting with the same peer, it's still a conflict of interest, I would say. So I totally understand that. So I know that you guys need the guidance and stuff. So I'm always craving for new things, I would say, because as an artist and stuff, I don't want to have the same story. I don't want, if I stop as a beauty queen, I think today there won't be so much interview for. I don't think you guys will even know me. A lot of people say, "Oh, enough." Not enough. I was like, this one, not enough. I was like, it's like my homework. It's like I never push enough. So I think my career, honestly, at the age of 35, it just started. Honestly, for especially my dreams out there. Local, I'm still coming back whenever I can to help the industry. But I'm also, I just want to go out and risk something and see how far can I push. Win or lose also, I need to come back. Win or lose, this is still my country, this is still my base. But at least, sometimes I would tell them, I still remember when we were Miss World at that time, nobody even know who am I. When I went competition, nobody even want to see. So I was like, so it's okay. I was like, the time will come. So win or lose, at least, nowadays there's still a news for me, and it's years of accumulation as well. The media have planted a lot of hopes on me. And I think the youngster as well, a lot of you, I think, see my stuff since young until like whenever I have talks nowadays as well. I was like, well, I mean, like I'm getting old, but I'm proud, to see that, the generation gap is getting. There's no generation gap, because I'm refreshing myself every day, and I think my vision came true. When I won Miss Malaysia, I was like, my vision is one day I hope all the students knows who am I. So I think my crazy study news, kind of, I think everyone was like, what the hell she's doing. But also whenever I receive messages when the kids are so negative, sometimes you just need a push. And I'll tell them, sometimes, I have, I don't want anything from you all. So if I'm not stopping, so I think there's still a big potential for you all to go. Again, I think that your generation must be better than every one of us, because one day we will get old. So I would say that, don't stay safe, just keep learning. But when you plan it as a lifestyle, at the end you will enjoy it. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay, so actually now after discussing so much of things, and we know that you have so many kind of titles, finally we are coming to the last topic, which is I think one of your favorite things that you have mentioned just now, which is singing. So finally we are here for the music industry. I have a few questions for you too. Saving the best for the last.
Of course.
Okay. So actually our producer is one of the fans too, and he wants to ask you like about there is 2 songs of you that he really likes. He wanted
Which one?
The first one is My Time, and the second one is 分手的进攻.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice.
What he wants to know is like what is the idea of you while you're creating this song?
Sure. My Time was my 6th year of my PhD journey, and that song I recorded in New Jersey, USA. So it was the first time for me to record an English single, and also that time I dedicated that for my concert. So the thing is just not to give up lah. Although how tough it is. And 分手的庆功 is I just want to say goodbye to the old me, because previously was Soo Wincci. So now I'm growing my Dr Soo Wincci brand. I'm still in the midst of reinventing a lot of things. So I just say that, a goodbye to that. So it's a good celebration for the goodbye, because a new thing will come. And as well as I think now also I'm having new teams around me, and people, a lot of people have quit this industry. So I think it's a good farewell for a lot of people, but also it's a good welcome for the new me. And also the next 10 years will be, I think full force on out there, and also see how far can I go out there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the idea is quite good. I think it's like saying goodbye to the old parts of us. I think most of us need to do that also when we have some.
Yes. Because always empty your cup with empty your cup, and then after fill with the new water. So I always say that, whatever past 10 years I did my part, but this won't blind me. I would restart everything from zero. So I need to let go everything and then restart everything again, because sometimes it's not good to carry old waters. Sometimes you need to challenge yourself and start from empty again. So yeah, that was my plan.
When it comes to singing, have you ever received like negative comments that
of course
put you down? How do you recover yourself?
Oh, I think, okay, I remember when I started my first few albums, it was so bad until like the first few years, like I said, oh, please don't sing. I was like, until, someone said that, oh, just married and be a mistress, and then that will be good enough. It's very sad. And I just tell them, I all these people are doing this to just pull you down. So why should I be down? I should even sing more, practice more. Of course, that time I'm not good yet. So until today as well, same thing. I was like, oh, this doctor's stupid again. So it's like every time when you want to do new things, people will say stupid. And also I believe we need to fall first, and it still takes me a lot of years to build a lot of things, especially now. So I'm restarting back at zero. So definitely, like nowadays as well, it's worse. So many is online. I see every news. I was like, oh, mine. I was like, I see my news every time. I was like, oh wow, the comment is like, oh wow. But sometimes I don't blame them, because sometimes you have no idea what's the purpose of them saying that. And us Chinese, we always say 反话. So do not take it too seriously. And also, of course, sometimes it's a good push to push yourself, because sometimes I think it's good to do a cross check on yourself, because sometimes it's like you need to have a push. I always say that if it's good, it can be better. So there's no limit for yourself. So for me, I always want to see improvement. I was like, not enough. That's why I keep learning new things, and I don't want to just talk. So first 10 years like that, take your time. Whenever until one day there will be still noises, but it will be lesser and lesser and lesser. So I just want to say that everyone nowadays will use fear to fear you all, but it's how some of the generation are being brought out. So I was like, just be calm, don't get angry. Once you get angry, meaning you're falling into the trap. And of course, don't get blinded as well. You know, some of them are good push. You know, we just take it very objectively, constructively. So don't just say that all good comments only is not good as well. So if you one day just receive good comments, it's something is wrong as well. So be careful as well. Don't get too safe. So always I like, you know, nowadays, like, hey, give me bad comments, but don't overindulge. Don't over sensitive. So that's why I told you, you know, when you are, you know, too focused on something, go and have another platform so that you have both to see. When you're blinded, so like sometimes like I go and bake. So from baking, I saw my mistake on singing or my mistake on education. So I always have few things around me. So then I can know how to manage, because girls can multitask. This is what I observe from girls. Guys, very strict. They can do very precise job. But girls, we need a few. But we can go deep. But we need a few things around us. So we are very different species. So know what's your strength, and we can multitask. That's a strength as well. Don't feel weird. You know, everyone is weird nowadays. It's a new normal. No one is normal. Okay. So if you think you are doing the right thing and result is showing, please go. And yeah, sometimes I tell the student, if you need 3 months break, go. I was like, sometimes just in advance to tell them. Or if you want, you are not comfortable in telling, just say you're not comfortable. So at least, I was like, don't force. Everyone have their time and stuff. So it's a very different generation, and nowadays the generation is getting more and more sensitive and more, I think is a digital, is a Gen X and Gen Z. So it's a very different approach. I can't say that my generation is right or any generation is right for every generation. So at times I was like, like that. Oh, understand. So you cannot generalize, I would tell you. And same generation as well, you'll come up with different outcomes because everyone have their freedom. So, and background and your hard work. So I cannot judge. When I'm in school, I'm always the weird one as well. But I always do my best. But roughly I know what I want. So I always think that I might be the weird one, but sometimes it's just like that, Maybe you wanted something, or something is there for you in the future, so you're being that way. So we are not a weirdo, It's just that everyone is unique, I would say. So yeah, just be careful of that, and just bear the responsibility and go slow and steady. Okay, don't be conned, or don't get too disheartened. Or don't get bullied, because when I was young, I was being bullied before, and I totally understand, But sometimes don't simply use your sympathy, because people will use your sympathy. Just be careful, I would say. Nowadays, it's a very challenging world for everyone, but also it's a very good change, because new rules, new people, so everything from zero. So everyone who want to work, who are hardworking, just start from zero and go step by step. People respect you. So it's just that some subjects I'm not that familiar, or I remember, but I'm not sure. But I'm always learning. That's why I was like, once you tell me the answer already, next time I will answer you back. I was like, I will remember. I wouldn't. I remember sometimes. I was like, not this one. Okay, understand already. So sometimes, as mentioned, it's good to have mistake, and then then you must learn. Okay, I was like, 不要错第二次了. So always, I was like, okay. Sometimes that thing kill my marks. Okay, I remember it.
To prove that Dr. Soo remember it, one question
Okay.
from just now. What is the three colors in the Italian flag?
Yeah. Green, red, white.
Yeah, see, Dr. Soo proved to us no second mistake.
No second mistake. I always remember. I was like, okay. I was like, that's why sometimes it's good to make mistakes so that you remember. So when trial, I make as much mistake as I want. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, some students like in Malaysia, we are quite conservative, where we never raise up our hand to ask questions when teacher let us to do so. Actually, making mistakes doesn't really.
It's good. Yeah, I always make mistake, and then after that, but I as mentioned, like, don't repeat more than two or three times, or you practice piano, try to remember it. So I always like, don't waste people's time, But sometimes it's good to fail in front to get the answer, because sometimes you just don't get it And it's just like when you go out and work, everyone will go through a lot of stupid mistakes. So you're not alone. And I've been through more. You know, if this doctor is still going through mistakes, I think don't be shy and, you know, don't be afraid to ask. Yeah.
Okay, so it's the end of our game section, and lastly, it's actually a few questions from our fans. But then this is the first time I'm having such a long interview, and we are going to enter it the third time.
Wow.
I'm
Yeah.
so sorry if I pick up the time. Are you free? Are you okay to answer
Yeah.
the few questions from the
I
fans?
am okay. Yes,
Okay, I'm
yes,
so
of course.
sorry. I think today I never control my
worries.
time now compared to others.
No worries. Every time I go on show, everyone told me the same thing. I was like, you're always the longest. I was like, yeah. I was like, a lot of things to share. I was like, even they need to end my talk because I give student talk as well. So, you know, my talk was like 3-4 hours. And after that, the student would be dragging me a few hours. I was like, you know, my whole show is like 10 hours for the student. So I was like, one by one. Say, doctor, how to do this? I said, okay, do this and da. And that's okay, this one you can get there. So, you know, the after servicing time for student is like, you know, okay, I'm yours today. You know, it's okay.
Oh God, and I enjoy listening to you as well, and that caused our whole length of time being so long. Okay, so just sing any song that you would like to share.
I'll sing my time since like your friend loves the
yeah,
song a
can.
lot. Yeah. This is the time all my dreams to come alive. This is the time for all my dreams to come alive. This is your time. My time and your time. Yeah, this song is really memorable. Yeah. Hopefully I have good influence to everyone, you know. I always say that, yeah, a lot of responsibility and a lot of things, you know, for us to go together in the future.
Thank you so much for the song. It's sweet and you always inspire me. I believe
Thank you.
a lot of us.
Thank you so much.
Now it's the turn for our fans. So the first question is, you have been fasting for 6 years.
Yeah.
So what made you to persist in this act?
I've been fasting for 9 years, and I actually it's a promise, and also I think it's a respect for me. A lot of Muslim around, so I've been working a lot with Muslim people. So it was a promise for me that if I can connect to my fans and stuff, and also I have a lot of Muslim fans, so I would fast with them. So also something is a promise, and after I fasted the first 2 years, I think it's very good. It's a very good detox, honestly. Yeah, to understand how they feel it. So yeah, I think for me it's a promise, and also I'll continue. Yeah, I'll continue.
So good. That's why so many people are looking up to you, because you just get the heart from every races and every ages, no matter me or my mom or even my
really. I always scared that people will say that I'm crazy. That's why I was like, I'm not good enough. I always say that I'm very scared. That's why.
You are really great, and same, like my whole family knows you, and
amazing.
My mom always say that, can you be more hardworking, don't be so lazy. Then sometimes she'll use your example.
No, I just hope that to see more, don't repeat our mistake, I would say. That's why I was like, why I need to set an example, because I really see so many people, regret in their life, and sometimes it's not to say whatever, if you guys know it earlier, so you guys will do better than us. So that's why we're saying, like, don't repeat our mistake, and be careful, and hard work will pay. Really, no joke. Anything also, do step by step. I always say that, I have a duty to carry, a lot of things, I can simply use my fame for a lot of things, but I always say that I have a duty, I have a responsibility to walk this talk. So for me, I was like, I just want to lead a good example for me. That's why I was like, at least I'm answerable to your parents, I'm answerable to the teachers, I'm answerable to my fans. So sometimes I was like, did I do it wrong? Sometimes I was like, okay, I keep cross-checking myself. Because that's why I was like, I always say that I'm not hardworking enough, or I'm not good enough, So, but I always try to balance, yeah. Although like people around me sometimes don't agree what I do, but I know that I want to set, a a kind of a further example for everyone. So yeah, and everyone is reachable, definitely can do better than me. Yeah, so for me it's like, yeah. And also I was like, I always respect whatever, every industry, every student, everyone will have a different story. So no comparison, no comparison. But again, it's just a push among us. It's a very fair competition, because for me, I just want to encourage people to keep going, especially Malaysian. Everyone is, I believe you all are the small superheroes growing. So we need to protect. But again, you cannot be too safe. You cannot be not, you have to strike a balance, I would say. So you will know the best, you're balanced, but you know how to come back. Sometimes it's like, why sometimes I need to push the extreme. I think nobody have the chance to go and push the extreme. I say, why not I go and push, and I come back and tell you, oh, okay, I understand. Or that's not even the extreme. Extreme here might not be extreme in overseas. So I would say that, it's just, if I have the chance to lead and by example, I'll try my best, but I made a lot of mistakes. So I always say that no second time, and rectify whatever it was done. And sometimes past is past, you need to keep moving forward. So no comparison, it's just that maybe I am not as smart, so I need to study. So also my route is like, I don't have the luck. So some of them are really given the talent. I really see smart people before and stuff. So it doesn't mean that, you need to follow exactly my route. But hey, when you are down, please remember that you have this stupid doctor here who is still learning. So, it's don't be depressed. I always tell them, I've been bullied before and stuff. For me, it's just a promise for myself when I was young. I said that if one day I've been successful, I would lead by example and tell those that I don't want to fight back. I just say that there's still a dumb doctor here who keep on working, So I was like, I'm not smart. I just love to learn. Even my teacher say, oh, you are like every day asking us. I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm very, I used to be very shy, but, I don't learn if I'm shy, Of course, I cannot be too outspoken, but I know how to respect. I know how to balance it back. So sometimes I keep asking, I keep going down. I don't care. I don't even care I'm a celebrity or whatever, when outside and stuff. When students see me or whatever, they just come and say hi. I was like, I'm not a diva. I won't eat you. And I always love to see students. For me, I was like, it's my life. And nowadays I manage my own thing, so I have no in between. So it's a huge challenge. I don't think a lot of people, dare to come down and do all these things. But yeah, if that's my calling, I will go ahead and set more real examples and stuff. So, I think you all also gave me a lot of motivation. So I think it's a return thing. We give. That's why I learned from the Melayu. The more you share, the more will come back. So we learn from every culture, every generation, everyone. I'm still learning. So there's no such thing as we are the best or whatever. But just do the best of yourself. Good enough. Good enough. It's a collaborative thing. It's still a world of a lot of people.
Too humble.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
if you think you are not smart, then what about us?
You all can do better. That's why I was like, do better, huh? I was like, this doctor is just because my generation, I'm just pushing and experimenting. So your generation, everyone can do it. I think must do better. I would say that do better so that we get the result. It's like better. So always I told my junior. So I was like, senior, we go and risk already. Hey, junior, faster learn. I was like, because we'll come down. Nowadays it's very fast. So at least we leave a story. We leave a legend behind or anything. At least we walk our talk. We never say that we never do it. We fail. But of course we stand up by ourselves. So that was what I wanted to do, and I really went and do it. And I came back and contribute again. So that's how I think like few generations know me. I always think that I'm not good enough or I'm expired in this industry. So sometimes I was like, hey, should I go out already? So sometimes they pull me back again. I was like, okay. But I need to do more. So because I started very old compared to anyone in this line. So yeah. So I think just do whatever you love, and everyone have their own timing. And always be humble. There will be always better people. Be humble and just don't take any shortcut. Don't compare. A reference is good, but don't compare. Every generation is different. Yeah, I have my weakness. I have a lot of weakness. So I'm still polishing, but I'll be professional in my duty, in my line. So I always say that, no matter what problem you're facing, sometimes be professional and divide it so that it's not personal, so that you buy time to solve a lot of things. Because personal, we're still growing. So look far forward in front. Now we are still molding.
But I think you can still do more, but you already achieved a lot of things. But I'm also quite curious about, you have so many of titles and you achieve in so many kinds of career. Is there anything that you wanted to focus on?
Yeah. I honestly, if I can, 100% focus, and I have all the luxury to focus, definitely is music. It's just that it's hard to survive nowadays. It's like I need to teach, I need to do research, I need to act. Only I can survive in the industry. Doing music is tough. I was like, it's not easy. It's like, for me, my main passion is always music. I was like, if I can sing whole day, write all whole song, and just distribute song. Yeah, one day when I'm old, I can do that. But again, I think if I want to focus, of course that. But nowadays, we don't have the luxury of focusing on one. but I would say that also is a good thing, because I learned so many hybrid skills. Overseas, you won't die because people will choose you because you know a lot of things, and I can save a lot of cost. Yeah, so nowadays is a very different world. Yeah.
Talking about cost, there is one of our friends, he asked, how do you manage your financial? Because I have listened your stories about you are using €1 and you are studying overseas.
Oh, I budget like mad. I honestly, like the €1, right, because like the fly is 20p, the spaghetti there is like 20p. So actually, because I'm a chef as well, so actually if you know how to budget, of course that's the emergency time. So of course that time I was pushing myself for job searching already. So that €1, I bought the flour and spaghetti. I was fasting the whole day. So I think a year was training already. So I don't eat much also. So I think that was a good training. When I thought it wasn't a training, but it was a good training. I was like, oh, eat one day per meal, one day is not as hard. Then I gotten the job already within 1 month. So it was actually I was gambling as well, and also I was risking for the scholarship. That's why I was like, at first I thought 3 months I'll be back, honestly, because I don't want to waste money. I was like, and that time my company funded me, so actually it was my own money as well. So I was like, I don't want money from my parents or whatever. But I mean, that was a worst come to worst. My friend said that, you know what, just go ahead, and I mean, like, you can come back. And because that time at first I thought I can fly Malaysia for shows and I can come back for show, but my visa problem, I didn't know it was so strict, and I didn't know that I can aim for the scholarship, because people tell me that you have a potential. So I was like, oh no, I thought I'm there for just 3 months. Honestly, I already prepped the fee for 3 months, but then they say that you might get that scholarship. I was like, okay, so I need to push. So my friend, actually that time, I'm very touched. My schoolmate, whom I helped before when they were in problem, who I borrowed money before, borrowed me the credit card. So swipe the credit card. So at least when I came back, I can return. And I was actually, that's why I said that it's good to have, because I have royalties payment from my song. So I used that to pay off my company debts and stuff. So one by one, you need to do work. That's why I need to come back and get projects and stuff. So I think the payback will be now, these few months and stuff. So I think it's been paying back step by step, but at least, I clear one by one. So previously, actually, I was self-funding myself for quite some time already. It's just that I think in that time I wasn't so good in managing my company, and I also was new. So it's very different when you become the boss, and from artist to a boss, also a huge step. So for me, it's like I don't know how to manage people. So I'm willing to close down the company and revamp the whole thing. So that's why I said I don't start too early and don't invest and straight away come and start up a business. I'll go and volunteer, go and work from low. So like that, at least I can save back not so much of the debts. Because nowadays, like, people will think, yes, it's not a perfect world, I'll tell you. Even you know a lot of things, there's still a lot of industrial rules and a lot of hidden rules or hidden things. So my advice for everyone, don't straight away to be a boss. Otherwise, you are just working for your worker. So I learned my mistake, and now also I'm revamping all, and also I call in more experienced people to combine power together. That's why I do partnership and stuff to have the same vision. You know, I was like, it's not about just the earning. It's like, you know, sometimes we scared. You know, like did we do anything wrong? Sometimes it's good to have a team of people whom you trust, who invest in you. So sometimes parents can't help anymore because some industry they don't understand, or they might be old already. So a bunch of friends, like all of us are just teaming up, but everyone are working multiple jobs. So I think that will be the trend in the future. Yeah.
So the last question here is, I think it's quite a fun question, because they ask, have you ever thought of creating a new own courses that might be demanding and really beneficial for the next generation?
Oh, I really hope that. But as mentioned, I'm not ready yet. I don't want, like, you know, that's why I told you, like, I will set up when I'm ready. I want to collect more things for you. Because I always say that, you know, performing on stage, even sometimes for the talk and stuff, I will do a lot of test run first before I set up something. Because I don't want, like, just suddenly like that. I was like, no way. I need to test myself first. So I'm working with a lot of educational platforms nowadays to analyze and to test run and stuff, so that what's really beneficial for you all, you know, because it's very subjective. Sometimes so for the industrial people, they want different things. For you all, they want different things. So I'm still test run and stuff. Like for me, like, you know, by baking and stuff, I always test on myself first before I sell it out. So for me, I don't want to sell first. Like I'm coming up with more books and stuff first. So time to time, I will set some syllabus book. That's why I was like, but I will call in more teachers to help me, because for me, I think we need a collaboration of different knowledge. So one day I definitely will write, you know, strategies for thesis, strategies for this, strategy how to score and stuff. But now I think I am more, I think, into research work, and also for student stuff. That's why I always choose where do I go, and I don't want to, you know, you cannot hit everything by yourself. So you need to be very specific, and also we need to be strategic. So hopefully I'm focusing more. I love to coach people on research. So, you know, especially also advising in studying in overseas. So at least people can budget, and nowadays as well, there's a lot of loopholes in overseas. So yeah, if anyone is interested or you want a cheap way, I really try different ways. So there's always a cheaper way to go. And also I would teach you how the strategy, how to, you know, depending on case by case basis. That's why I like to come out with books. And when people buy my books, I always like to, you know, ask them, okay, tell me what's your problem, and, you know, I will solve it for you and stuff. So I really hope that I keep coming out with books, but, you know, everything will go into, like, production is a different thing. And nowadays is, you know, people, if I like, just like buying album, like if the student really buy, I really hope that it will be very sellable and beneficial for everyone. Yeah, so definitely it will take some time. So I'm still, like, you know, production is another work. So it's not as easy as just writing a book. So yeah, I have publisher and stuff. So I started, you know, my first book project myself. I lost a lot of money. I'm not experienced at all. So I learned my mistake. Every line I go, now I always say, go from low. No matter how high you are, go from low. And you want ego, or you want to save your money. You know, nowadays investment is getting more and more expensive. So yeah, but always, you know, anyone have problem, I will always, you know, always PM me on Instagram. I'm always there. For student, I'm always there. Whenever any personal question, just text me online. On student, I definitely will answer. Student, I'll give you the honest review. Or you need motivation, sometimes I'll just text and say, yeah, just go ahead and, sometimes you just need a push. Yeah, I'm always on my phone, and sometimes I always check if I'm busy. Also, I check back all the messages. Yeah.
Oh my God, thank you so much. I hope that in the future I will have the chance to see Dr. Soo University.
Yeah, that's really my dream. But hopefully, really, I hope my university really can produce superstar in their field, and I really want to see successful cases. But also I also hope that the university won't be so expensive. So I was like, I want to have a very fair price for everyone. So because I started a lot of things, and even my book price and stuff, I was like, I want to reduce so that I want people to listen, or even my albums. I was like, I don't want to charge so high because I want people to buy. I want people to benefit. I was like, I don't think of making the money first. So I was like, I just don't want to make loss first, and get it out first. So from there, step by step, I know how to grow. But if too rush, I don't want something that's not good, because I'm still improving. So I always say that I don't want to set my range so high first, especially the prices. So hopefully one day though, maybe a school for I don't know, maybe it might be an application. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for all
Thank
your
you.
contribution towards the younger generation. I
Thank
can
you.
see that you really wanted we youngsters to become better.
Yes,
I hope that
please.
if any audience that are watching this video, they can personally PM you if they really need some problems.
Yeah.
Once again, thank you so much for
Thank
Dr.
you.
Soo with us.
Yeah, I really hope that one day, maybe my book signing tour, or my real concert. I don't know. One day I hope to have a motivational talk plus concert thing. So I really hope that time all my students or people who follow me since young or whatever, any generation will come together. So you guys enjoy the performance plus a lot of things. So I hope that one day, come and see me in physical. I was at video. I was like, no lah. I was like, now only RMCO. I really hope people invite me to the what do you call that, the school and stuff. So yeah, there'll be more things coming up.
Okay, thank you so much. It's just
Yeah.
that's just a joke lah. I think I believe that you're quite busy. You are willing to message us is our biggest honor. So thank you so much again, and I'm
you.
sorry if I take up a lot of the time.
No,
but
no.
you're sharing a lot with us, and
No,
I feel so blessed for it.
no. For I always love students, and young people. I was like, go. I was like, support
Just love you also.
I'm very old already, so I say I feel like a mom.
You are our idol, I would say.
Thank you so much.
So bye. Oh my
Bye
God.
bye.
Bye with you. Hope to see you one day in real life.
Yeah, hope to see you all as well. Come and tell me your success story.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hope I will be successful in the future. I hope.
Everyone will. Just work on your thing. It will come. Trust me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
This is the time. I've been waiting all my life. This is the time for all my dreams to come alive. This is my I've been waiting all my I've been waiting all my life. This is my time. Oh yeah, my time.